Hi, 8th grade students. This is Mr. Alford, and I am making this video to explain how to do assignment number 12, which is Survey Project Part 1. This is a two-part assignment. Let me just read this project explanation for you. So this project is a test grade, okay? Instead of doing a kind of standard multiple choice quiz or test for statistics, I thought instead that I would give you a small project. So this again is a project for a test grade. Part 1 of this project is what you're working on now, and in part 1 of this project you are designing a 2-question survey. This Google Classroom assignment is part 1, and the next Google Classroom assignment is part 2. When you do part 2, so part 1 is really just making the survey, setting it up. Okay, it's just going to be a 2-question survey. Part 2 of the project is that you collect at least 10 survey responses and then put your responses in a two-way table and then answer some questions about that table. I'll make another video later to explain more about part 2. Don't worry about that. This video is just focusing on part 1 of this project. So to start, let me show you what I mean by a 2-question survey. So a few days ago, I went ahead and made this survey myself because I knew I wanted to do this project for you guys. I thought it would be a good idea if I made like an example survey. So in this survey that I made, this is the title of it. I said it was an anonymous poll, anonymous coronavirus poll. I just wanted to poll some people about what they thought about recent events. This was my description of the form of my survey. Hello, if you could please do this 2-question survey, it would help me teach my 8th grade statistics unit. Your results will be recorded as anonymous. Thanks. And after I made the survey, I actually posted it to my Facebook page and just wanted to see how many people responded. I ended up, so far, as of right now, I got about 76 responses. And by the way, I do want to make this, just to make this a little bit more fun, I want to make this, like, say, a small competition. If you can get the most responses out of all your classmates, then you win this competition. And whenever we go back to school, I think I'll have a small prize for you. So let's just make the project more fun. See if you can get the most responses. Again, I got 76. See if you can beat that. See if you can beat your classmates. Anyway, here's my first question. It went, if you're, I wanted to, again, this 2-question survey can be about anything you want. It can be silly questions, it can be serious questions, whatever. I chose questions that were a little bit political. These are just questions that I thought would be interesting to see answers from other people. So the first question was, if your state went on statewide lockdown for quarantine efforts, such as leaving home only for essential needs, would you support or oppose this lockdown? And then I gave people 2 answer choices. 1, I would support such a lockdown, it would be a good idea. 2, I would oppose such a lockdown, it would be a bad idea. And then my second question was down here, if the federal government decides to send 2 $500 checks to every citizen to support them through the pandemic, would you support or oppose this? Answer choice 1, I would oppose, the checks would be a good idea. Or answer choice 2, I would oppose, the checks would be a good idea. And let me show you what my responses were. Loading. There we go. Okay, so for the first question, I got these kind of responses, where the blue is people who would support the lockdown, the red is people that would oppose the lockdown. You can see that 72 of the people that responded, or 94.7%, said the lockdown would be a good idea. And then 4 people, or 5.3%, opposed the lockdown, said it would be a bad idea. Question 2. 66% said that the $500 checks would be a good idea, and 66 people, 87% here, and 10 people, or 13%, said they'd oppose and say the checks are a bad idea. Now, keep in mind going into this project that this is not a truly random poll. If this were a truly random poll, I would have a huge list of phone numbers in the United States, and I would just randomly be calling people and asking them to answer my questions. This isn't random because the people that I polled, the people I surveyed, came from just my group of friends on Facebook. And so that's a small group of people. And if you friend people on social media that are like you. So people that have similar interests as me, or similar values or similar views or anything like that. These kind of people might be my friends. So that's why we're probably seeing a lot more selection with support and a lot more just saying that this isn't a truly random poll. This is not like reflecting what, this is not saying that 94% of people in the U.S. think that the lockdown is a good idea, or 87% of people in the U.S. think that the checks would be a good idea. This is 94% or 95% of Mr. Alford's friends think that lockdown would be a good idea, and 87% of Mr. Alford's friends thinks the checks would be a good idea. I thought their survey was totally interesting. It was cool to even get like 76 responses. So it was fun just to do a survey in the first place. I kind of hope that this is a project that you guys enjoy. Just pick whatever questions you think are really interesting to you. They can be totally silly or they can be serious, whatever you really want to do. Let me explain a little bit more. So, again, I'm talking today just about part one of the project. You're just designing the survey. You're not actually going to survey people yet. You're just going to make your questions for this survey, and you're going to hit submit on this assignment, and then I'm going to look over your questions and just make sure that they are good, just that they make sense, all that stuff. So part one of your instructions are down here. You're doing step one right now. You clicked on this video link and you're watching the video. Step two is you're going to fill out the attached Google Doc. And what I mean by that is right down here, you're going to click on this and it's going to pop up and show you. It is going to show you this. This is where you are going to write the 2 questions in your survey. You need to keep in mind 3 things. 1, please keep the questions school appropriate, obviously. 2, choose questions that really interest you. I want you to kind of enjoy this survey. And step 3, I want you to reread what you write. You need to be sure that it makes sense to someone else. Actually, I have one more piece of advice. Step 4. These need to be multiple choice questions. When I say that, I mean you need to provide all the different choices that people can make. Okay. So I have 2 questions down here or let me just say this. Here's question 1 in part 1 of this project. For your survey, write your first multiple choice question and its answer choice. Again, I am saying that you need to make these multiple choice questions where you write the question and you write all the different answer choices. So this was the question for my first survey. It was the quarantine question. So it was question, and then my question came right after it. And then here's my first answer choice right here. And here's my second answer choice. So right down here, you're going to write a question, and you're going to write at least 2 answer choices. You can have more than 2 answer choices if you want. That's up to you, but you need to have at least 2 answer choices. And then for question 2, you're writing your second multiple choice question and all of its answer choices. So here's the second question from my survey where I asked people about the 2 $500 checks. Here is answer choice 1 to that question. I would support. Here is answer choice 2. I would oppose. Okay. So down here, you are going to write that question and all of its answer choices. To make a really quick question, just for another example, so question. This would be something that you might write. It is Michael Jordan or LeBron James the GOAT? Answer choice 1, MJ. Answer choice 2, LeBron. Or you could have answer choice 3 be like unsure. Okay. You can have more than 2 answer choices, but you need to have at least 2. Okay. Step 3, I'm just saying don't survey people yet. You're going to write below how you want to survey people. These options include you can post it on any of your social media pages. You can email people. You can call people. You can ask neighbors. Or other options of surveying people that you can think of. If you choose to do a Google form, which is what I did actually, this platform right here is called a Google form. If you choose to do a Google form, here is a YouTube video explaining how to do that. And right here, I'm going to put another YouTube video link that explains how to set up a Google form. That is my recommendation for doing a survey that is most efficiently collects your answers. So I'll have that link for you here. That's question 3 of the project. Question 4 is just saying, I will look over your survey questions and tell you if you are or are not ready to start surveying people. Maybe your questions didn't make sense, and so I will just talk with you or write to you and say, let's fix this question because it didn't make sense. Maybe something like that. Or I'll tell you you're ready to survey people and you can start surveying people. So you just need to go to, you aren't writing anything right down here. I'm just telling you, go to Google Classroom and hit submit on this assignment. That's how you are telling me that you are done with part 1 and you are ready for me to look at your first 2 questions. All right, that's it, guys. Email me or call me if you have questions. I'm really excited to see the questions that you have, how many responses that you get. Again, you only need at least 10 survey responses, okay? At least 10, but you can have as many as you want. All right. Good luck, guys. Email me or call me if you have questions.